are workers' rights to severance when a company shuts down? That question being raised after Greyhound announced last week that it would be permanently shutting down its service across the country. The move impacting travelers, but also employees of the company. With more, we're joined by employment lawyer Alex Lucifero. Alex, first of all, I guess straight up, are employees owed any severance pay when a company like Greyhound closes?
They are, Matt. So this is different to a situation where a company is claiming bankruptcy, for example. In the event of a closure, whether it's Greyhound ceasing operations or whether it's a manufacturing plant that's closing down or a small office, maybe a dentist's office or a doctor's office closing down and ending its business, employees are still owed severance. They're owed the same severance that they would otherwise be owed in the event of an ordinary termination. Those severance entitlements are going to be based on an employee's age, their years of service with that company, and their position within that company. And the longer that they've been with the same company, the more specialized or senior their position, and the older that they are, the more severance they're going to receive. Now, Matt, these are the severance entitlements for non-unionized employees.
Right.
For unionized employees, the analysis is a little different. Unionized employees are going to be bound by the terms of their collective agreement, which means that their severance as well will be dictated by that collective agreement. And so the analysis for unionized employees is quite different.
Okay. I want to ask, what if an employer provides advance notice of a closure? How does that affect severance?
And we do see that from time to time when it comes to companies closing down. We'll see those employees being provided with several months notice of the closure. And that actually counts towards an employee's severance entitlements, Matt. And so that notice, provided it's clear and unequivocal, that notice does have to be factored into the equation, into the analysis when it comes to an employee's severance entitlements. It's likely, in most scenarios that we see, it's likely that the employee is still owed severance pay beyond that working notice period. But again, it does have to be factored in.
Okay, I did want to ask too, again, you touched on bankruptcy, but I guess like for many employees too, when they find themselves in a position like this, do they have to accept severance on the spot or when it's immediately offered to them, or how does that situation usually work?
No, absolutely not. You don't have to accept any severance offer on the spot. If you are one of those employees that are being sat down in a virtual meeting or in a physical meeting, and you're being told that you're being let go, whether advance notice is provided or whether that's actually your last day of work, you shouldn't be signing anything on the spot. You should bring that information home with you and have some time to consider the information. You should be speaking with an employment lawyer if you've been made a severance offer and getting that professional advice from an employment lawyer, just like you would receive for any kind of other advice, professional services or otherwise.
Right. Employment lawyer Alex Lucifero, appreciate your time as always. Thank you for this, sir.
Thanks for having me.